Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this afternoon's broadcast from Rebels Radio here at the Beverley, home of Hampton and Richmond, for the Enterprise National League South match between Hampton and Richmond and Slough Town. Not the start that either side, I'm sure, would have wanted to commence their season. Hampton, having played 3, unfortunately lost 3, yet to register a goal this season. But those first 3 games for our hosts today have been away, whilst some fantastic groundwork around the Beverley here has been finished off, including a top quality playing surface now that's been installed, as is a growing trend here. An artificial pitch at the Beverley that should hopefully provide a bit of comfort for Slough to be playing on a familiar surface. We'll be hosted this afternoon by myself, Gary Thomas, and I'm delighted to be joined by Connor McNeish, who I might let talk in a second. Who knows? He was just looking at something else then, so I was going to carry on talking, but he's ready now. So, Con, famous first question before the 2 sides come out, and we'll take you through the lineups. Any thoughts ahead of the game today? Have you got any hope of Slough getting first points on the board after just 2 games?
I'm pretty confident today of 3 points. I feel like it's not just obviously the poor start we've had, but also the fact that there's obviously a little bit of bite to the game, with it being obviously the return of Alan Julian to the Beverley as well. And I feel a bit of positivity today. I feel like we're going to see a result.
As you may be able to gather, the 2 sides are now emerging out onto the pitch away from the tunnel area on our right hand side, so that will give us the perfect opportunity to take you through the lineups this afternoon. We will start with our hosts Hampton and Richmond. In the goal will be new signing Marco Underwood, number 3 Harrison Sodje, 4 Will de Havilland and captain, 5 Luis Fernandez, 6 Theo Widrington, 7 Sak Hassan, 12 Toby Show Silva, 14 is Xander Siziba, 16 Mike Atkinson, 21 Ashley Akpan, 25 is Hayden Barrett. On the bench for the Beavers this afternoon is number 8 Wes Fonguk, 9 Reese Grego Cox, Max Mullins at 11, Jasper Mather 15, Kibben Rye 17, Adam Reeves at 18, and Ben Jackson, sub-goalkeeper, at 22. And for the Rebels this afternoon, in goal will be number 1 Josh McNamara, 3 Arthur Gregory, 5 Joe Morrison, 6 Shay Spencer, 7 Jared Myers, 8 Kyle Brooks, 9 Ruben Chakpoke, 10 Johnny Goddard, 18 Freddie Taylor, 21 Jaden Drakes Thomas, and number 25 is Chris Francis. On the bench for Slough will be number 11 Luke Holness, 13 Michael Adegbe, 14 Keenan Quantza, 17 Lewis Walsh, 19 Godlove Apong, 20 Balu Mukumbi, and 22 is Latrell Humphrey Ewers. Just the 2 changes for the away side, with Ruben Chakpoke, Johnny Goddard returning to that starting 11 in the place of Luke Holness and Keenan Quantza. It's twice now that I've had to bite my tongue already, Connor, and not say Jarrell Quantza. I can see it's going to be a long afternoon already.
It's a bit of noise.
Memories of Farnborough. If you know, you know. Just a bit of on-air admin as I'm sat alongside Connor. I've got a variety of different screens up on my screen. I haven't got any visibility of any comments coming in through the YouTube chat. So whilst I'm conscious that you have got social duties to do, I know I just need to lean on you for any chats that do come in through the YouTube chat function. Do keep those messages coming in throughout the course of the afternoon. We will get through as many as we can throughout the course of the match. But obviously we'll be hoping for a positive performance and a positive result here for the Rebels this afternoon. Hampton's opening 3 games, so yet to see them return even a goal, which is perhaps surprising. But whilst they've not been able to have a home game prior to today, they're actually unbeaten in their last 6 games here at the Beverley, having last tasted defeat back in February of this year. in what was a 2-1 defeat against what ended up to be relegated Eastbourne. Slough obviously haven't had a positive result here last season themselves with a 3-2 victory. Can you call that photo bombing? I don't know, we're kind of already in the photo, aren't we? But there's the supporters from Slough that have made the relatively short journey over to Hampton, just moving round to the goal off to our left-hand side. For those familiar with the ground here at Hampton. Seated stand is off to our right. We're pretty much central. So we've got a nice, good, clear view across the pitch here at the Beverly. Obviously, as I say, there's a fantastic new pitch that's just been laid. First proper game that will be taking place on it. We are underway here at the Beverly. Slough just having the ball within the Hampton half, just taking a touch though off a Slough player. It will be a throw in for Hampton, just over on that left-hand side, midway through their own half. Just throwing down the line, flicked on and forwards. It's just taken a touch though. Slough had attempted to clear off of Show Silver and out of play for a Slough throw in their own right back position. So Freddie Taylor will continue in that area, following on from his debut on Tuesday night in that single goal defeat against Farnham Town. Saziba now just with the ball just in midway of the Slough half, out to Akpan in that right midfield position. Just had to go back to Atkinson, just under pressure from Drakes Thomas, just forcing the Hampton defender back into his own half. Haviland with the ball down the channel, just looking for the run of Show Silver. Just well marshalled off the ball though by Chris Francis. And it just allows Slough's number 25 just to take ownership of the ball before a short pass in Shea Spencer out to right back Taylor. Just has to take a touch, go back into the feet of Joe Morrison, just on the edge of his own penalty area. Just go short and square to Shea Spencer, just moving the ball across now towards the left-hand side of the pitch. Francis is waiting for the run from Goddard, just fires the ball down the left-hand touchline, looking for that run of Goddard, but it's just a little bit too early there from Goddard. And the assistant referee's flag over on that far touchline has gone up to indicate that Slough's number 10 has been judged offside. Hampton just looking to work the ball just down their left-hand side at the moment, just been held up just around halfway, just forced back into their own half, but it's a nice little turn there from Sodje, just to turn away from his man. A forward ball down that left-hand channel though just goes harmlessly out of play, and it will be a throw-in for Slough in their own right-back position. Just a little bit of scrappy play there just inside the Slough half, just from the host, just allows the ball go into the hands of McNamara. Bowls it out to Goddard, back to Gregory, plays a forward ball into Drakes Thomas, just tries a little flick looking for the run of Goddard, just a little bit too far in front of the Slough captain. He's been forced back to debutant Marco Underwood, signed on loan very recently from Fulham, just to fill in between the sticks, replacing Pat Nash for this afternoon's game. It's a long clearance there from the debutant, but will just about be kept in play there by Sak Hassan. He's down by the corner flag on that left-hand side, just buys himself a little bit of space, but it's a cross that's come too far out towards the edge of the area. Slough just about managing to get it away, and it's a calm pass there from Spencer just to release Goddard, just on the left-hand side. It's approaching halfway, moving back towards the middle of the pitch now, and is looking for a through ball. It's found the feet of Drakes Thomas just outside the Hampton area, just goes outside to Myers. Steps inside the first challenge, and just as he was trying to get his shot in there, just nudged off balance. Not enough there for any sort of award of a free kick. And it just allowed the shot there just to lose all potential power, and as Hampton then played up towards halfway, they've earned themselves a free kick. But a nice little bit of play there, Connor.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was mostly, well, alarming for them, I would say, is the amount of space that was in between the defence and midfield there just sort of seemed to open up. And perhaps a little bit more power in the pass from Goddard there. It might have slipped a little bit further through straight to Myers and may have actually put him in on goal straight away. Just think we've got to be a little bit careful with that left side with Sakasan, as you said. It's obviously very well known around the non-league part. I'm sure to some people will remember that name. He's played for Wilstone and # United, and I think he was very prominently featured in Ballers League, if people remember what that was. So yeah, got to keep on his toes as much as possible because he's very tricky, very quick, and looks like we're pressing forward.
Shakpo just winning that battle in there, just on halfway with Fernandez. Good show of strength in there from Slough's number 9. Ended up winning a free kick for the away side, just in the centre circle. It's ended up moving out to the feet of Myers over on that right touchline. His cross, though, has just had the sting taken out of it. It just allows Mike Atkinson just to pick the ball up inside his own area. And as that ball there played up towards Hassan, felt he was pulled back. Nothing given, though, by the referee.
Definitely looked like a shirt ball, but
Goddard now just receiving the ball outside the area from the edge. It's a well struck shot that's blocked initially, and Hampton have been able to clear up towards halfway. Morrison there just trying to fend that ball away, but it's Hampton just on halfway at the moment, just trying to move the ball now out to this near touchline to us, into the feet of Akpan. Takes a step in towards the central areas of the pitch, and it's received the ball back there. He's found some space in that right hand channel. It's cut back across goal, but it's well cut out in the end by Slough on the penalty spot by Shea Spencer, and they have moved the ball away. And now on the counter, just ball there back from Drakes Thomas to Myers. Drakes Thomas have gone for the return, and it's a poor ball forwards there from Myers that's ended the counter attack rather abruptly, and Slough were well placed there to launch a counter of their own.
Again, as we saw in the first half on Tuesday evening, very large gap there, wasn't there, between the centre half and the left back, just giving them that space to sort of play a really easy pass through the back line. Hopefully they've learned from Tuesday evening. We're going to see less of that. And so far, similar problem.
Yeah, it's just that run on that inside right channel from Ashley Akpan, just found himself in too much space, and then the cutback, fortunately for Slough, couldn't find a Hampton shirt. As we are now just having a Slough throw from Taylor. Good afternoon to Stone Angel and Twyford Rebel. Thank you for those messages that have come in through the mixed. Oh, nearly finished it. The close. YouTube chat. Force of habit. It's a bit of a loose header there back from de Havilland, but Underwood there just on his toes, just able to come out and claim that header back under a little bit of a sniff of pressure from Shaq Poke. A little bit more of a vertical pass there up towards halfway into Siziba. So now they win it back, and it's played through into Shaq Poke, just in a little bit of a foot race in there with Luis Fernandez, but again Underwood is out quickly and well just to save at the feet of Shaq Poke, as he was just trying to shift it to the right hand side of the area. We're just a little bit too far in front of him, and Underwood was able to come out and claim well, but Slough will be heartened by that high turnover of possession, just winning the ball aggressively on halfway. But it's currently Hampton on the attack with Hassan. So over on that left hand side, cuts in towards his right foot, but it's a tame effort that's comfortably gathered by McNamara at the near post. He just steps up towards the edge of his area, no real short options on, so a little bit of a step back, drop kicks up towards Shaq Poke in the centre circle. There is one there by the home side, and they've just played it back into the feet of Akpan, across to de Havilland, and then over to the left-hand side, centre-back Fernandez. He's just in the edge of Hampton's own defensive third at the moment. It's a combination of Atkinson, de Havilland and Fernandez just exchanging some passes at the moment, just moving the ball from side to side. No real sort of press in that defensive third from Slough, quite happy to let Hampton have the ball. That's a little bit of a longer ball forward from de Havilland. Looking forwards to the run of Toby Show Silva. It nearly fell kindly in there to Siziba, but the ball is broken kindly to the feet of McNamara, and he hammers the ball away first time. Bounces back out to Shea Spencer. Chris Francis then with a longer ball forwards, but it's too far in front of Gregory, just allowing de Havilland to hook the ball forwards. Hit by the head of Goddard, and it's broken out to Widrington, just moving to the left of the centre circle. Finds the feet of Hassan, just up against Freddie Taylor, just trying to drive past the Loney. He's done well to get to the byline. It's a low-driven cross that's cut out of the near post by the feet of McNamara. It's gone out of play over by the left corner flag for a throw-in for the home side.
Yeah, I was growing more and more worried as that winger there, we've already mentioned a couple of times, making his way past Freddie Taylor. I was just cautious of the challenge that the young defender was about to put in. I thought maybe if Hassan had just hesitated, he may have caught him and conceded a penalty, but luckily for us, that hasn't been the case, and it looks like there's a break on now.
A little bit of a sloppy pass in there from Hampton that allows Chris Francis just to step through. So just run the ball too far in front of him as well. De Havilland had stepped forward to try and contest that just a few yards beyond the centre circle inside the Hampton half, and it's Francis there that's won a free kick for Slough, relatively central. So I'll have to try and work themselves a little bit of an angle on this.
It's probably a bit too far out for an effort on goal.
And just in response to Twyford Rebel, yeah, these headsets do tend to pick a lot up. I don't think there's anything that we can adjust, unfortunately.
But I will say, I think they've been a little bit more behaved, I think, than our guests behind us since kick-off.
Goddard now just floating that ball in diagonally across towards the right-hand side of the goal. It was initially dealt with by Hampton. It's cleared up to Shea Spencer, just on the right-hand side, midway through the Hampton half, has to turn and go back to Kyle Brooks, back onto halfway to Gregory. Gregory now just finding the feet of Drakes Thomas, just over on that right-hand channel. His attempted through ball is blocked initially, but it has broken to Myers. At 20 yards away from the byline, just tries to drive forwards, but loses his footing, just allowing Harrison Sodja there just to get a foot in and clear the ball away. And it's going out of play for a Slough throw-in. At midway through that Hampton half, it's gone into the midriff of Shaq Pope, just trying to turn away and play the ball into Myers, but Hampton do get a foot in and just recover possession now, just trying to break themselves down their own left-hand side. Forward ball hooked away by Morrison. Headed back by de Havilland. A little bit of just territorial kicking at the moment, I think, going on. And we now do have a little bit more of a bit of calmer play as Hampton move the ball out to right back Akpan. Just goes back in turn, and we're just in this process at the moment of Hampton just playing the ball across their back line. Currently with the feet of Fernandez, just in that left centre-back position, goes to centre-back partner de Havilland again, just tries that longer ball forwards, just looking down that right-hand channel. Second ball eventually breaks to Show Silver and back to Akpan, who in turn, happy to be patient, just goes back to de Havilland. Into Akpan, just a little bit of quicker interplay now, just tries to release Zeba just down the Hampton right. Gregory is using his body well though, just to try and shepherd that ball out. Has to take a touch, but he's supported by Goddard. Is lost though under pressure from Zeba, and it's an attempted cross there that's blocked by Arthur Gregory, and it has gone out of play for a Hampton corner. Just over 13 minutes played then, still goalless here at the Beverly. Whilst Hampton do have a corner, no real saves of note from either goalkeeper as yet.
Another thing just to quickly add as well, it's actually goalless everywhere in the National League South as well. No goals just yet.
Hampton will obviously be hoping to change that now with a corner from their own right-hand side. And again, a common theme, Connor, a congested 6-yard area before this corner is due to come in.
Just have to sort of hope and pray that the referee is well equipped and is looking in the right areas to identify very sneaky fouls that will definitely be happening in that box.
Corner delivered in towards the back post area though. It's over the heads of Fernandez and out of play for a goal kick.
And yeah, of course the delivery has to be of decent quality as well, which is always the case. Isn't always the case, I should say.
As is almost customary these days, corner goal kick taken short. little bit of an exchange of passes between Morrison and McNamara.
Oh,
Brooks there just caught in two minds, and unfortunately was rescued there by Taylor as a loose touch off the foot of Brooks nearly presented a chance for Hassan, but Taylor was able to recover, and a longer ball forward there from the right back, just over the heads of everyone though, just allowing Fernandez just to pick the ball up just beyond the left-hand corner of his own area. And again, just this little sequence now of Hampton just being comfortable to move the ball across their own defensive line. Currently at the feet of Luis Fernandez. Let's go square to de Havilland. Again, just looking up for that option. Is afforded a pass to feet with Saziba just dropping a little bit short, just forcing Gregory to come with him. So Zach Hassan just dispossessed there by Freddie Taylor, who seems to be coming out on top of that battle now. Lovely layout from Shakpoke into the run of Myers, just progressing now a couple of yards away from the byline, just over on that right hand side, just looking to deliver a ball in. It's delivered in at the near post, met by the head of Fernandez. It's come right the way across goal. Goddard will recover it over on the left hand corner, plays it into the feet of Drakes Thomas, just supported by Brooks. Just has to come back out to Gregory, just takes a touch, goes square to Spencer. It's back into Gregory, and Slough had to work the ball patiently back into the feet of Morrison, pretty much on the centre spot. Square to Francis, into the left back Gregory. Gregory's forward ball though just easily intercepted by Atkinson, just allows then the midfielder just to take a couple of strides forwards and passes the ball into the feet of Saziba. It's midway through that Slough half now, ball back at the feet of Atkinson. This goes into Hayden Barrett, back to Atkinson. Slough just forcing Hampton very slowly back at the moment, and in turn has to go back into the feet of de Havilland. And they're just on that left-hand side, still within their own half. Just looking for a couple of options there. Not too much movement in front of that central defensive pair. It's just forcing the issue a little bit for them to play square. And they have now found a bit of an outlet in Akpan, just moving the ball into the Slough half, into Barrett. His ball forwards, looking for the run of Saziba down the right-hand side, though too far in front of the Hampton winger. And it's out of play for a throw-in for the away side.
I'm going to assume it's on purpose, but what I've noticed so far since kick-off is just how much more compact Slough are in the central area. I mean, from kick-off, we had Johnny Goddard right up by the near side where we are, and just as the half has already early progressed, I'm noticing quite a lot of the team is now just sort of naturally sort of moving to the centre of the pitch. Oh.
The pass there was nearly read by Drakes Thomas, just about half a foot, just too far in front of him, just to be able to nick it in front of de Havilland. Hampton just currently in possession, just in the early stages of the Slough half, just moving the ball out to Harrison Soji. Just clips one in towards the area. It's dealt with by Joe Morrison there. Half-hearted appeal from a small section of the ground there, asking for a handball. And Slough now have been able to clear to the middle of the half. Goddard just laying the ball back to left back Gregory. Forward ball up to the chest of Shakpoke. Has to play back to Morrison, under a little bit of pressure there from Show Silver. And it's just forced there the wayward pass from Morrison out into the Hampton half and out of play for a throw-in. Taken quickly, and now I presume we'll just settle back into this side-to-side motion for a little bit. It's Hampton defence in possession of the ball.
Yeah, it's interesting because again, you can see at the minute Goddard's just slowly making his way, sort of to try and tuck in at left back, but then you've got sort of Gregory almost tucking in centrally. And what we noticed in the previous spell of possession Hampton had, which was quite interesting, was Gregory and Taylor both pushing forward centrally in order to press. It's still really early on trying to work out just sort of what mechanisms the side has as a possible chance for Hampton.
Saziba there just taking a couple of shifts of momentum just to bring him inside from the right-hand touchline in towards the the right-hand edge of the D. Just a low drive there. It's taking a touch off a Slough foot, but probably about a foot wide of McNamara's right-hand post.
Did you see a touch there? I mean, we were right behind that.
We had a really good line of the shot. We could see that it
Reflection.
was going wide pretty much from the second it left his foot, but I can't say that I saw a touch in there, but it has been awarded as a corner for the home side. Again, a pretty congested 6-yard area, but McNamara there is given a clear run to get 2 good fists out to it. Has gone back out to Hampton though, just on that left-hand side. Hassan just dispossessed by Shea Spencer, but as he's trying to move that ball away, just gives the ball back to Hassan a little bit too easily. It's a ball in towards the near post. It's taken a touch there from McNamara, and Slough have been able to clear up towards Myers, but it has gone back out to Hassan, just over on that far touchline from us. Delivers a firm across this time, headed away by Shackpoke, still back on defensive duties from the earlier corner, and Slough now looking to break with Goddard trying to release Myers. It's inside that Hampton half, just under pressure there from Sojay, and it has seen Hampton eventually just win that ball back. With Atkinson just in that middle of midfield, and again just taking the sensible option and just playing the ball back into the feet of Underwood. So just 20 and a half minutes played. Still goalless between the two sides. Not really too much action in either goal mouth, but you do feel, Connor, that Hampton are just getting on top in the game. I appreciate, just as I asked that question, of course, I've waited 15 minutes until Connor has had the need to type something before asking him a question. Myers there just brought down just outside of the Slough area for a free kick for the away side. Just a couple of other goals in and around the National League South. This afternoon, Chesham have taken the lead at home against Walton and Hersham, another side that have been doing some works in and around their ground. So the first home league game of the season for Chesham sees them in front there, and Farnham in front against Billericay just by the single goal there. Obviously victors on Tuesday night against the Rebels. Third and only other goal in the National League South is for Salisbury, who are 1-0 up against Hemel Hempstead.
Sorry, your question you asked.
No, it's gone now. Yeah, no, we've moved on.
We skipped.
Obviously, Hampton, you know, we're just coming up to the halfway point of the first half. Hampton just starting to edge things a little bit in terms of just getting a bit more further forward in that Slough half. Just you feel they're getting on top a little.
Yeah, they're definitely having a little bit of a spell. What Slough are doing right now is exactly what they need to do, which is exactly what they did to sort of respond to our little moment we had a little bit earlier on. Just sort of keeping the ball, being patient, trying to link play up towards the front man, which hasn't obviously just happened, but they need to do just that. They need to just keep trying to take the sting out of it and look to build momentum back again themselves. That's going to be a foul though against Arthur Gregory. Foul on Saziba there.
Yeah, about 10 yards or so beyond the halfway line, just inside the Slough half, just a couple of yards in from the touchline, and it will be Widrington that's just standing over the ball at the moment, hands on hips, just waiting for his teammates to get into position. Left arm just goes up in the air before delivering a long diagonal ball in towards that back post area. It's hooked away in the end by Freddie Taylor, but up more than out. As it comes down towards the edge of the area there, it's met by the head of Fernandez, but without any sort of real direction or control over where the centre-back was going to put that, and it's gone quite a few yards wide of McNamara's left-hand post for a goal kick. It's taken short into the feet of Francis, just has a shorter option from Goddard. It's under a bit of pressure then, has to play long towards Shackpoke. Actually dealt with by de Havilland, and Shea Spencer just picking up the pieces on halfway just before moving the ball out to the feet of Jared Myers. Cutting in from that right-hand side towards the central areas of the pitch now, just trying to drive forwards, but good positioning in there from Mike Atkinson just allows him just to get a foot in and win that ball back for the home side. Sojay then just for Hampton, just looking down for a longer ball down that left-hand channel. It will be kept in by Show Silver just by the byline. Has to come back into the feet of Barrett, just driving forwards, just on the edge, the left-hand edge of the penalty area. advanced position, just supported there by Hassan, just up against Shea Spencer at the moment. Just trying to switch back onto that right foot. Delivers the ball in towards the back post. It's well dealt with initially by Gregory. Second header out towards the penalty spot. It's left the area now from a Slough perspective. A ball fits back in, is headed away by Brooks. It's come back out, shot driven in, is blocked by the shins of Goddard. Hampton still in possession though, just on the left-hand side, delivered in towards that near post area, but it's taken a touch off Freddie Taylor and out of play for another corner for the home side.
Yeah, backs against the walls a little bit here from Slough. I actually thought Johnny Goddard did exceptionally well to defend the loose ball towards the edge of the box there, because if he'd any sort of awkward movements there, he could have conceded a penalty. He did really, really well just to do enough to not concede anything in front of the referee. And yeah, it's a bit of an awkward moment this for Slough, because they really do need to just hang in there a little bit more, I think.
Yeah, is it just that out ball at the moment? Do they need to just try and get a better quality of ball going into Shaq Poke just to allow that pressure to stop?
Yeah, definitely. I've not seen enough yet from Jaden and Ruben. They're not quite getting as involved as they probably should be. Again, Jared there's had a couple of moments to drift through the middle of the pitch. I was a little bit frustrated there that Jared was sort of doing the right thing, was getting it into space and open area, but Ruben, I just noticed to the left of him, just wasn't quite making that movement for him to try and see if he can, try and lay one in behind the defence for him, and it's not quite there just yet. And this might actually be a good thing now for Slough, just having a moment to have a breather, as Barrett is currently down, receiving a bit of treatment for Hampton. And you can actually see inside the box that the Slough players are just having a quick word, most of them, in fact, together. And hopefully this minute or two will just give them a little bit of a chance to just refocus.
Yeah, just Jared Myers there, just going over to get a drink from the bench and just taking some time there with Jefferson Louis. It will be Hampton corner as we do return into play, obviously with new guidance. Hayden Barrett will need to leave the pitch for a minute. Just having had some treatment applied there. So it will be Hampton temporarily down to 10 players. But we'll be on the attack with a corner from Zakasan just over on that left-hand side for Hampton. A little bit more of a different tactic in the middle this time. It's almost going back to Southgate's England. And it will be more than a minute off for Hayden Barrett. It's been determined that he's unable to continue, and he has been replaced on the 27th minute, I believe, by Wes Fonguk. We will now get returned to play with that corner for the home side. Will be the instep of Hassan's right foot, delivered in. McNamara again just getting 2 fists to that, and it's cleared away from the Slough area. Sajay just returning the ball to Hassan. Just 10 yards from the byline now, just over on that far touchline again, just trying to get round Taylor. Does so, but his cross there just lacks any sort of power and direction, and it's allowed Slough to clear up towards halfway. We'll like go play for Hampton throw.
Sorry, I was just going to say, it feels like a really drastic measure just to avoid a minute for your player to be off the pitch by taking him off completely. Although, is that potentially a loophole there we've discovered with the ball, maybe?
I can only presume, with 27 minutes gone, that it's got to be a legitimate injury. Otherwise, I don't think too many managers would want to be making changes this early, particularly, as we say, when Hampton were sort of just starting to get on top a little. Slough just returning the ball into play with a throw-in of their own just down the right-hand side. And it's played forward, though, by Hampton. Picked up by Gregory and just played back to the feet of McNamara. Slough goalkeeper just allowed to take his time just to allow his teammates just to get set back in position. Receiving the ball back and now playing just a little bit longer just down that left-hand channel. And Haviland there just allowing the ball to bounce as Gregory just had a little bit of a sniff there just around trying to see if he could get near the ball that was left by the Beavers captain. But again, good positioning in there from Underwood, just allowed him to come out and claim towards the edge of his area. We're now just back in the possession of the Hampton back line, just in their own defensive third at the moment. And a good afternoon as well to Rebel Skelly and Callum Withers, who've joined us in the YouTube chat this afternoon. Do keep those messages coming through in the chat. We will get through as many as we can. And clearance from McNamara is not headed particularly well by Widrington, and it allows Myers then just to try and run through. It's a good leaping challenge in there from de Havilland just to get his foot out in front of the ball, stopping the run from Myers. Slough have recovered the ball though on halfway. Ball back to McNamara, just played up long. Goddard trying to challenge de Havilland for that, but it's the Hampton centre-back that wins the aerial challenge. Now Slough just looking to build themselves out. Now Myers with a good flicked ball round the corner to Jaden Drakes-Thomas, just over on that far touchline. It's come out to Goddard. Bounced up unkindly though for Slough's number 10. Just allowing Fernandez to get ahead on it, but Slough have retained possession, just being forced back into halfway. But again, nice little bit of link up there between Brooks, just trying to release Taylor. Low cross in towards the near post is hooked away. It's not really gone out of play, and it's a collision in there between Sodje and Taylor. Enough there that it's been deemed to be a foul on the Hampton defender.
So I'm just remaining quiet because I'm having a bit of Maidenhead PTSD there, because that sort of challenge there looked like the one that was made in that game, which saw obviously Basil Toomer sent off. Looked very similar in terms of just the way that you could see Freddie Taylor shift his body.
Fortunately, only a foul given in this instance.
Which is what the decision should have been last year.
I think the only real difference there is probably less momentum for Taylor, significantly less momentum for Taylor, because it was a little bit more of a standing start to run into, as I think Basil was a little bit more full on going to get that.
It must have been heard at York Road, by the way, because Maidenhead have literally just scored as well.
Another goal that has just gone in as well. Western Supermare 0, Dover 1. High ball out towards the right-hand channel, just down by the byline in the Slough half. Chased down by Widrington, but good defensive duties in there from Johnny Goddard. Just see Slough get the ball away and have earned themselves a throw-in the process, just by the corner flag in their own left-back position.
I think what I was encouraged by the move there from Slough was just sort of the pace that it was being played at. It felt a little bit more meaningful, a little bit more purposeful. We need to see it more often, though. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I think it was certainly the runners there off. It's almost those third man runs, isn't it? So as you're playing the pass into the feet of one player, there's another player then making a run then that was the recipient of just that little flick ball round the corner. Slough just to get some forward movement down that right hand side. It's currently Hampton though in possession. It's midway inside the Slough half, just over on the far touchline from us. Hampton's left. Is playing the ball forwards now, waiting for the run of Hassan, just cuts inside, but it's offside in there as his low shot was saved anyway by McNamara, but the assistant referee's flag has gone up as McNamara there. I think may have just taken that one in a sensitive area, because he did look to get back up gingerly. It will be a free kick for the Rebels, which Morrison takes just from inside the penalty area. Initial header won by Akpan. It's with the feet now of Chris Francis, just a couple of yards inside the Slough half. Goddard then just playing the ball out to left back Gregory, goes back to Francis. Francis into Brooks, just trying to play forwards into Gregory, but it's read by Akpan. It just allows the home side to recover possession. Unfortunately, from a home side perspective, no real pressure there on Fernandez as the ball just escaped his left foot. Was allowed to recover. And a longer high ball forwards, easily intercepted by Gregory, just covering across a little bit more central. Forward pass into the feet of Goddard, out to Drakes-Thomas, now to Myers, just inside that Hampton half, just having to turn back and go to Freddie Taylor. Taylor to Spencer, Spencer into Francis, just that left-sided centre-back. Plays into the feet of Goddard, just inside the Slough half in the centre circle. And Hampton there just trying to do enough just to press the ball as it gets near halfway. Nearly pinching it off of Drake's Thomas there, but Slough now trying to build again just down the right-hand side. Taylor goes back into Spencer, just inside the Hampton half. Just puts his foot on the ball, just turns away from the initial press from Fonguk. Back into Morrison. Morrison with a forward ball into Drake's Thomas, and those little flick balls around the corner now, just not quite coming off, and it's just allowed Hampton to return to possession. Back into the feet of Underwood, just sprays the ball out to this right-hand side into Akpan, just able to step up over halfway, supported by Saziba. The pair just trying to move down Hampton's right at the moment, just 20 yards or so outside the Slough half. They've had to go back to Fonguk, and Fernandez now just inside the Slough half. Moving the ball out to Hassan. There's a good tackle in there from Freddie Taylor. So they're growing into that battle. Hampton still in possession though, about 20 yards away from the byline, just over on their left-hand side at the moment. Fonguk now just with a more direct ball forwards, but ends up arriving inside the Slough area, nowhere near a Hampton player, and it's a comfortable collect for McNamara. Francis now with the ball, just trying to play into the feet of Goddard, just crossing over halfway, supported by Gregory on the left-hand touchline. Just has to go back to Francis. Just under pressure from two Hampton players. And numbers game there, just wins for the home side, as Toby Silva there just seemed to have indicating there that it was a flailing arm that caught the Hampton attacker. Nothing given by the referee, nothing seen by the referee, and I think it will be a play, a return to play from a Hampton throw-in.
Say that, I don't think anyone saw that, because normally you would see some crowd reaction. It was pretty close to where we are, and the fact that literally no one else reacted to it suggests probably not much happened.
Go on and describe that one.
Let's just say that Carl Brooks will probably need some air at half-time in roughly 10 minutes, because he doesn't have any currently in his body.
Carl Brooks just trying to close down there, a little bit of a weak pass back to the thrower from Widrington, and as he stretched out to try and get the ball, just caught it in an area that no gentleman wants to get caught in. And I think he's now just doing a quick cursory check with his hand just to make sure everything's still present and correct. And we'll again return to play with Hampton throwing the ball just down that right-hand line, and Brooks there just showing no ill effects from that good block. Ball played back to the feet of McNamara, clears high up towards the centre circle. Drake's Thomas there just winning that initial header, but Fernandez just onto that second ball, able to touch the ball out to Soje. Plays it forwards to Hassan, and now just looking down that left-hand channel towards Show Silva, but Morrison is across well just to get a foot on the ball and clear that out over that left-hand touchline for a Hampton throw. And now just being moved across to right back Akpan. Plays forwards into Saziba. Goddard and Gregory there just making sure there's no progress that can be made. Ball has to go back to Fonguk. Now across to Fernandez, just beyond the Slough edge of the centre circle. Up to Zach Hassan, just over on that left-hand touchline from a Hampton perspective, just supported by Fernandez, just able to step a bit further forwards. Mike Atkinson now just spraying the ball out to the right-hand side, as Akpan has just taken the opportunity to advance forwards. Big appeals there for handball, and it's been given as a penalty there by the referee. The ball had come across, had bounced up, and it looks like it struck the arm of Shea Spencer. And it will be a penalty for the Beavers. So as the ball had come in from the right-hand side, and just bounced up just in front of Shea Spencer. He's just moved across to try and cut that out, and the ball had just bounced up into like the midriff area of Slough's number 6, and it looks to have struck the midfielder's arm. It will be a penalty and an opportunity for Toby Silva to get Hampton on the board for the first time this season from the penalty spot. And we'll just await the referee's whistle just to get us back into play. The ball is down on the spot. Show Silver there just waiting patiently, and the referee's whistle does come up. Show Silver just takes a few steps back to his left-hand side. A little bit of an intake of breath, fires it in low, and it's sent McNamara the wrong way. You can hear by the cheers around us there that the ball has ended up in the back of the net. Hampton get themselves in front here at the Beverly. It's Hampton 1, Slough Town 0. I'm just waiting on the scoreboard just to return back to the time, but I think that was the 40th minute for that goal.
39th, I think it was. 39th.
I mean, we were a minute apart the other day, so, you know, what's a minute between friends? As we've scored a goal, gets belted out from the home support just to the side of the tunnel. I'm judging from the sigh that came through on the microphone corner, a bit of a tough one to take.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones where he needs to be 100% certain that he has seen a hand and that it has caused an advantage for Slough in terms of being able to defend it. Because if that is not the case, then my issue is it's one of those ones where if a penalty isn't given and play continues, I'm not sure anyone is that fussed. And again, I can't say for certain if I thought it was or thought it wasn't. I can't see from where we were, if I'm being perfectly honest to you. I hope on the highlights package we will see a definitive angle, because if it's similar to last year and they had about 5 or 6 cameras set up around this ground last season, I'd like to hope they have got a good angle of it. It's not going to matter now, of course, but what we need to see now is a good last sort of 5-6 minutes of this first half where Slough can try and affect the Hampton defence in a way, because again, I'm feeling similarly to Tuesday where we've seen some nice build-up, we've seen some nice play at times, but it's not been enough. There's not been enough creativity, there's not been enough attacks on the Hampton goal, if any at all. And we need to see something, I think, in the next sort of 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's only really been those sort of few half chances that have seen shots blocked from the edge of the area. We're yet to return 2 players. McNamara is currently down receiving treatment. So both sides have taken the opportunity to go over to their respective benches as McNamara is receiving treatment just midway inside that Slough half at the moment.
You might be able to correct me if I'm wrong, but is this a case then where after this treatment's been received, a Slough player will have to obviously wait by the sideline?
Unfortunately, I do think it looks a little bit more sinister than that, as Michael Adegby has got his kit ready. Gloves are coming on. McNamara is just walking back towards goal at the moment.
They've made the decision already, haven't they?
But it does look like an issue with McNamara's left thigh. But it will be a second in 4 substitution of the game after Hayden Barrett had been forced off through injury, and it now sees the Slough goalkeeper Josh McNamara to be replaced by Michael Adegby. While that substitution is completing, just another quick run through of the scores in and around the National League South. Braintree 0, Horsham 1, Chesham 1, Alton and Hersham 0, Dagenham and Redbridge 1, Torquay 0, Dorking 1, Maidstone 1, Farnham 1, Billericay 2, goalless between Folkestone and Chelmsford. Maidenhead 1, Farnborough 1, Salisbury 1, Hemel 0, goalless between Tonbridge and Truro, and Weston 1, Dover 1. So Slough now do get us back underway, and Taylor just looking to play the ball down the right-hand side. It is blocked by Hassan at the expense of a throw-in pretty much on halfway for the Rebels. Taken into the chest of Shakpoke. Laid off to Myers, has to turn back around and just between the legs almost there of Freddie Taylor, who's looking to advance in front of him, and it's gone out of play for a Hampton throw-in. Sajay just taking that down the line. It's going to end up with the feet of Chris Francis. Just first time, hooks the ball forwards. Headed away then by Fernandez. Returned by Morrison up towards halfway, and it's just a little bit scrappy at the moment in and around halfway. Hampton now just looking to move the ball out towards this right-hand side. Akpan just being able to move forward, just having a bit of a sight of goal, and it's an early touch there for Digby. He's getting both hands behind the ball, pushing it out to the side. Ball was going to be returned in then by Saziba, and it's been blocked by Gregory for the expense of another corner for the home side this afternoon. So 45 seconds or so left until half-time. That penalty goal from Toby Show-Silver enough to separate the two sides here at the Beverly. I think, Connor, as you indicated earlier, it's just got echoes of Tuesday night all over again. Corner, though, will be taken by Sodje just from Hampton's right-hand side. Delivered in towards the middle of that penalty spot, and it's a good claim there from Adegbe. And just drop kicks there towards Myers. I did wonder if the referee would have called that back, as a Hampton player just seemed to run in front of the Slough goalkeeper. So he was trying to drop kick. And a long high ball forward there, headed away initially by Morrison. Looking for the return run of Saziba. It's well dealt with by Arthur Gregory.
I don't know if you noticed the little wrestling match that was going on as Slough were trying to pull away there between Goddard and Saziba. There was literally about 3 instances of them both sort of grappling with each other and pulling at each other. And Goddard just sort of looking across the line and saying, "Are you not seeing this?" And clearly not, because play continued.
We are now into 5 additional minutes here at the end of the first half. Hampton just in possession at the moment in the Slough half, just over on the left-hand side. Sodje just looking to link up with Fonguk and Sakasan. It's a good sliding challenge there from Myers just to stop the ball getting back into the overlapping fullback for Hampton. Home side have to work the ball back to Fonguk into Hassan. Just working the ball now. Hassan just finding a little bit of space, looking to get it onto his right foot. Before Slough then do hook that ball away up towards Drake's Thomas, just looking to link up with Brooks. Brooks now just being able to drive forwards into that Hampton half, just looking for some other options, and just barged in the back there by returning Mike Atkinson. It will be an attacking free kick for the Rebels as they try and look to get themselves back on level terms here at the Beverly. There's a yellow card there for Atkinson. A little bit of a tactical foul, I think you'd say, just to try and stop Brooks from continuing that Slough counter-attack.
Not sure, it felt to me like the referee was pointing across over to where we are, and I wonder if that is that also for another challenge he might have committed earlier, potentially.
He's certainly gone up at the scoreboard as Atkinson, as Drake's Thomas lifts this ball in. It's flicked on by Shakpoke. It's loose in and around the area, and it's just tucked the wrong side of Underwood's right-hand post by one of his own players. Will be what I believe is Slough's first corner of the afternoon. Just over 2 minutes into added time here at the end of the first half. Still Hampton 1, Slough 0. And we'll give Goddard the opportunity with the instep of his right foot to deliver this ball into the area towards that penalty spot, but no one near the runs of Underwood, and he's allowed a clear claim. Jared Myers now just having a little bit of a foot race in there with Saziba. And good cover in there from Spencer, just stops then a second through ball. So now then playing into the feet of Gregory, up to Shakpo, just sprays the ball out towards the right-hand side to the feet of Taylor, just inside the Hampton half, just having to take a step inside at the moment, looking for some options, and then just trying to deliver the ball out towards Shakpo. They're just over the head there of Slough's number 9, and the ball will roll out of play behind for a goal. No, it will be a throw-in. Just can't quite see where the ball had gone out, just down by that corner flag. It will be Hampton that do returners to play. Still about a minute and a half of added time left at the end of this first half. Gregory first to it, just flicked up towards Myers, but easily won in there by Fernandez. Just a little bit of head tennis between the two sides at the moment. Ball still not coming down on the ground. It's still just outside the Hampton area. We're being hooked away by de Havilland up towards halfway. Francis underneath it to head it back towards goal, and climbed over Drake's Thomas there just to win the header to de Havilland. It's up towards halfway again. Shea Spencer just looking to gain control of that ball, just under pressure from 3 different Hampton players, and it's Mike Atkinson in the end that's allowed to win the ball, plays it to Widrington, just driving into that Slough half. Hampton now just moving the ball out to Hassan, just in that left wing position for the home side, just looking for the support of Sojeg, just well tracked though by Jared Myers, and he just uses his body really well just to defend that situation, and the ball goes out of play for a goal kick for the away side. And Digby there just having to readjust his gloves somewhat. He's just slowing things down a bit for the Rebels. He's just had to take his gloves off for some reason, and just taking a moment just to get them back on as he readies himself to take this goal kick. And it's finally delivered back into play by the right foot of Adegbe. Up over halfway and over the head of Shakpoke. Brooks there just trying to pick pieces up. Ball breaks to Taylor, who just loops a high ball forward, so de Havilland underneath it to win the header. And then bang on 5 minutes. Referee does bring that first half to a close. Not a great deal to separate the two sides. There's an argument in there that Hampton were getting on top, could have potentially shaded the first half, but not a great deal of goalmouth action at either end. There is enough separation though between the two sides, as a penalty from Toby Show-Silva in the 39th minute is the only goal of the game. Similar to Tuesday, Slough find themselves behind in the first half. Will need a response in the second half if they're to get any points on the board in their National League South campaign this season. At half-time here at the Beverley, Hampton and Richmond Borough 1, Slough Town 0. So we're pretty much the last game in the National League South to reach half-time this afternoon. So we will be able to take you through the half-times around the rest of the league. Starting off with Braintree 0, Horsham 1. Chesham United 1, Walton and Hersham 0. Dagenham and Redbridge 1, Torquay United 0. Dorking 1, Maidstone 1. Farnham Town 1, Billericay 3. Folkestone 0, Chelmsford City 1. Hampton and Richmond 1, Slough Town 0. Maidenhead 1, Farnborough 1. I'm doing it my best James Alexander Gordon BBC Radio 5 voice. Salisbury 1, Hemel Hempstead. I'm getting funny looks from Connor, so I'm going to have to revert back to just speeding through these. Tunbridge 0, Truro 0, Western Supermare 1, Dover 1. Is that better for you?
No, it's just different. That's what I was just sort of... For me, it's always... I unfortunately can't remember the sound of his voice. Sorry, the sound of his name. The name to go along with the voice on Sky Sports News, who would normally read them out for Soccer Saturday. It's a really deep Scottish voice. I can't remember the name of the gentleman, but you talking like that reminded me of him. So
that was the precedent that was set back in the day from BBC Radio 5. You get the old sports report.
Yes.
All that song and everything. That was tradition. It doesn't matter what else you were doing. And I think obviously then like Sky Sports News have tried to follow that sort of way. That almost set the way of reading out scores, didn't it? Until you get them like to me and you doing it.
An earlier question I had already being answered to your right, Gary, actually, which was, would the sprinklers come on at half-time? And they are very much about to entertain us during the half-time break, along with probably some other people that are going to get soaked as they come out.
Yeah, you're on comments duty.
Am I?
The one job that I've given you on top of the 15 million others. I was just trying to have one of the 5 packets of Treebor Strong Mints. So
as Gary alluded to some of your comments during that first half, Rebel Skelly, I think I saw this comment actually come in just before the penalty was conceded, saying it sounds like Slough are not playing too bad, which I still believe is the case, to be honest. I don't think they are playing too bad. It's just, again, just not quite seeing a spark there perhaps in the final third at the moment, which is the only real source of frustration, as well as obviously that penalty kick that was awarded, which we're going to all have to wait to see back later on this evening, hopefully. Um, how are their supporters treating Alan? Any songs for him, etc.? I've not actually heard anything, to be honest, so far, really, if I'm honest with you. I've not seen any interactions with the fans, with Alan at all. So yeah, I haven't noticed anything just yet.
I mean, for those familiar with the Beverly, there's the little tunnel that's off pretty much where you come into the ground, where the players emerge out from. The home support seemed to be sort of gathered just in a little bit of terracing just beyond that in the first half, where the Slough support, there was a degree of Slough support underneath that that sort of covered terrace just off to our right hand side. Certainly didn't seem to be too many that had amassed behind the goal off to our left. But no, it wasn't. The atmosphere generally, I think, was just a little bit flat across the board.
Yeah. Callum asking how the new pitch is. Having seen everything they have done, a lot of improvements to the ground, even a scoreboard. I believe that was here last year.
That scoreboard was here last year.
It was definitely here last year. It feels new because of the surroundings of it, I think, because it does all look very brand new. But that very much is the same one from last year.
Yeah, it's certainly operated a lot better than our one as well. whoever does the one here, I mean, they're setting the tone for how all of them should be done, really, aren't they?
I think for anyone who has been to the Beverly before, I think what you will notice if you do intend to come here anytime soon is the sort of the perimeter now around the pitch is a lot larger in scale and a lot more room. Certainly behind both goal ends, perhaps not to the right hand side where the main stand is. That still feels fairly sort of tight, but the ground around the outer layer of the ground has been all relayed. It's all nice and smooth and no potential trip hazards for anyone, which is also really great to see. But it does feel slightly rejuvenated here in certain respects. I think there has been some comments about the fact, sort of that far end of the stadium now, it being a bit maybe too flat for supporters being able to try and create an atmosphere, because before you used to have the sort of scaffolding that used to sort of try and close in a bit of the noise from away fans down that end. But if I'm honest, I think it looks nicer, it looks neater. I'm a fan of it for sure, if I'm honest.
I do wonder if it'll end up with like a Dorking style setup with sort of two separated covered areas, because there are.
It does feel that way, doesn't it? That far end of Dorking as well. It's very, very similar in sort of style. There's probably a little bit more room actually down this end.
Yeah, it just looks like they've just put two steps in at the very back of the terrace. But you would imagine, you know, if money no object, etc., you could build up a 4, 5, 6 step of terrace in there. I've always been a big proponent of covered terracing behind the goal. You know, that's where you want your hardcore support. Behind the goal, you're attacking, getting a bit of a roof on there, generates the noise, etc. But
just to finish off some of the comments then, there are a couple there I cannot read, even though they are spelled perfectly PG. 23rd place as it stands, says Twyford Rebel. Predicting a draw this afternoon, says Top Hill District 2000. Rebel Skelly predicting that we're going to win 3-1 with the Johnny Goddard second half hat-trick. I do actually think Johnny Goddard's been probably one of the few to note throughout that first half, because I think you mentioned it during commentary, how it seemed to just sort of drift across this sort of area in front of us where he would be picking up pockets of spaces where he would be the link-up player for others around the pitch, and that was working in probably the first half of the first half, and then gradually, as Hampton were building up a bit of a commanding bit of pressure, it just seemed to slowly begin to not work, and they realised what he was doing. So it'd be interesting to see if there's a change in sort of what sort of build-up play Slough try and do in the second half, because it did look like Hampton were beginning to sort of pick up on what we were trying to do in the latter stages of that first half. Top Hill District also says Hampton, a Richmond manager, used to play for Slough. At what point I thought he was going to be the Slough manager before he joined Hampton. And Twyford Rebel just reiterating Alan Dowson was a fantastic player for Slough. Or just in general, I think is the note there. Callum saying, I still reckon we can have a few goals, hopefully. I think maybe 1, 2 for us, or would be happy with a draw, he says. I can't imagine that's what a lot of people would think coming here today, having seen the start that Hampton and Richmond have made to the season. Again, it sort of feels a little bit of a unlucky moment for us, maybe potentially having to come here on their opening home game of the season with a brand new pitch and maybe a little bit of a spring in their step in front of home fans for the first time. But I do feel we need to see a vast improvement in the second half, especially now Hampton do have that lead. They have options now, don't they? They could potentially even sit a little bit deeper, as we saw Farnham do on Tuesday when they had their lead over us. So it will be really interesting to see what sort of approach Slough do have to the second half, and maybe further changes are required.
Yeah, so when you say vast improvement in there, I think it's probably just really in and around that final
front
third,
end, yeah,
final
definitely.
quarter
I still
of the
feel
pitch.
I still feel defensively there is something there that's just not quite right, because I mean we saw the first instance in the first sort of 10 minutes when they did manage to cut through straight away. Then I actually thought we did improve. It felt like there was sort of moments where Hampton were trying to pick out passes in behind us, but they struggled to do so for a few moments. We saw a few just sort of long balls go in and everything was calm. That was an improvement to me that I thought that's good. But then it just, as they built up that pressure again, it just seemed to slowly unravel. And they just consistently seem to be able to create half chances after that. We haven't quite managed to recover since. And then obviously we roll into the penalty decision given. And then it just felt sort of after that was scored, momentum was with them, and they just were able to just keep hammering on the door a little bit more. And we couldn't respond. So could end up being a massive moment in the game, the penalty obviously. Not just in respect to the goal, but also just how both teams now react to it and what they sort of choose to do now for the second half. But we do just need to see just sort of some attacking presence from anyone who's out there for Slough in the attacking third, because at the moment it's not quite there, and that's definitely been the case throughout all three league games for me. Even Dover, despite the fact we did score 3 goals, I think it does need to be remembered that the first goal was a penalty kick, which in hindsight I'm sure a few others will say was fairly soft. I think the third one was a bounce back of a defender that fell straight into the path of Luke Holness. So we do just need to score some goals. Just score some goals. Let's see that happen.
Well, that's been, there's two things I'm looking forward to in the second half, and the first one is that contest between Zach Hassan and Freddie Taylor. It's been a real yo-yo battle throughout the course of that first half. I think both players have had elements of being on top throughout the first half. Elements in there from Freddie Taylor just winning some of those individual battles, probably in the middle half of the half. I think probably the 10 minutes either side of that, Hassan probably had the better of that battle, but it'll obviously be right in front of us in this second half. So it's going to be fascinating just to see how that plays out between the pair of them. I think the other potential thing, as you say, is, if it stays at 1-0, the longer the game goes on, will Hampton drop further and further back. I think Slough have got to express themselves in being comfortable from shooting from 20, 25 yards. Jaden Drakes-Thomas, we know, has got the ability to be able to score from outside the box. Some of those other players, we've probably not seen it as yet, but I'm sure they've got it in their lockers to be able to get their foot through the ball and at least try and test a goalkeeper that has only just signed for the home side. Admittedly, with an encouraging first 45 minutes for the Beavers debutant. But certainly, as you say, it's nice having all that build-up, but now there's got to be some occasions where you've got to try and test the away goalkeeper, the home goalkeeper, especially when you're behind at half-time.
I think as well, it's just sort of it's a fine line where you have to balance things out, and I feel like patient play, sort of possession style is good, it's fair, it's right, but I also want to see a little bit more aggression, a bit more direct running. Add that together, try and combine the two if you can, because for me it's all well and good being able to build it up, but not being able to continuously do it is for me an issue, as I'm being offered a luxury pick of
do you want a sweet, little boy? You can have, take two. Come on, take two.
Thank you very much. Deal done. Deal complete.
There we go. Right, Connor's just signed on for another year. There we go. But two packets of Trebor soft mints.
I just feel it'd be nice to see just a little bit more aggression, us winning a few more 50-50s in a few areas. Just try and force the issue a bit more. Just try and get on top of them, because that's definitely one thing that hasn't happened in that first half. It's just a period of us being on top of them, and it's been mostly Hampton throughout that first half, especially the second half of the first half, as we've already reiterated.
So would you say in that central midfield area, So I'll just look across at your screen.
Sorry, it's a similar situation to last time, don't worry.
There's me thinking I've got the score correct.
You're definitely right.
I look across and I see 0-0 and panic again. Trying to do these things for us, you know, and then you make me panic all the time. Do you think that central midfield area then is something that needs to be physically enhanced? Carl Brooks, obviously small and small height-wise, in compared to like 6'4" houses. Shea Spencer, quite slender. Very good ball players, but do you just need someone who's just going to run around and kick people?
Yeah, well, not necessarily kick people, but just...
Sorry, the enforcer type,
yeah,
you know, someone that's
100%.
built like me that can run and just physically assert themselves in that middle third.
And I feel like what's confusing me slightly was in those initial sort of friendly games we saw, let's say the first half of pre-season, what we saw then was a lot of chasing of the ball for Slough, a lot of pressing, high pressing on the pitch. And we've not really seen a lot of that actually in the second half of pre-season and the start of the actual league season itself. And I'm not quite sure why that is. But I'm fine with how Shea Spencer and Carl Brooks are. But as you say, it just does feel that there's a lack of maybe an enforcer in there just to sort of hound players down relentlessly and just try and force the side back into it. And no changes, I think, or I think there has been a change actually. I think I can see Luke Holness
has come on. Shaq Pope is on, Goddard is on. Jared Myers.
Yeah, it does seem to be the case, doesn't it?
So half-time substitution there for Slough as we do get back underway here at the Beverys. Hampton and Richmond 1, Slough Town 0, and it's a half-time change there to see the introduction of Luke Holness. Just seems to be playing in that sort of number 10 position at the moment. And his forward ball there is just beyond Toby Show-Silver, and it allows Chris Francis just to collect the ball before turning and playing back to Michael Adegbe. He's now leaving 4 very high forwards there for that long clearance from Adegbe. Now just Goddard just trying to pick the ball up inside the centre circle, but that's been recovered by Hampton through Mike Atkinson. And it looks like Carl Brooks there has just got some sort of facial covering just over his lip as Zakasan there just driving in towards the box. Just can't quite get his feet right. And it certainly seems to be with his hand. Everything is right foot. Everything is, to be honest, the perception I get, it looks quite greedy.
Greedy, but one that is going to unlock defences. I mean, I think the other thing I noticed throughout that first half and already this second half is they don't seem to tend to go a lot the other way, do they, at all? It does seem to be played all the way through Saka's hand down this, well, now left-hand side to us, so just need to be careful as Freddie Taylor there just is tracking his run through the centre.
Hampton now, they're just moving the ball out to the right-hand side. Just trying to drive forwards now, just on the edge of the Slough area, just trying to get past Gregory. It's a low ball across. It's gone through the feet of Toby Show-Silver and right the way across. And I believe there that the referee has seen an infringement in the box and given a free kick to the Rebels rather than a goal kick. Oh, it's really going to make very, very little difference.
Yeah, a question from Johnny Rebelace is why not the trail in midfield? Because I think that's going to have to be a question I do ask actually, because we've not actually seen it. I don't think he has featured just yet, has he? So he has been present, I think, in the bench in all 3 of league games so far. So that might have to be a question I'll ask a little bit later on of Alan Julian.
Drake Thomas there just under a bit of pressure from Wes Fonguk. Just manages to retain the ball, and it's Joe Morrison now just trying to clip one forwards towards the head of Shakpo, just over the head though of the big Slough striker. Allowing Hampton to turn the ball over, but it's a loose pass there, just allowing Carl Brooks just to return the ball to left back Arthur Gregory, playing the ball again to Brooks, who's just sort of on more of a left-sided position now, obviously with Jared Myers off. Holness a bit more central. Just trying to get a feel for the formation. I must admit, on Tuesday I got it completely wrong. It does seem to be, again, just sort of very fluid, very dynamic in terms of the positioning of a lot of the players, particularly when in possession. So Hampton get themselves a throw midway through the Slough half. She gives a bit more of a feel now for how the team are lining up. So it does appear to be Shakpoke and Holnish just staying up at the moment. Drake Thomas is a bit more of an advanced midfielder centrally. Carl Brooks is over on the left-hand side. Shea Spencer, Johnny Goddard at the moment just almost sitting as a double pivot, and then a back four of Gregory, Francis, Morrison and Taylor left to right. So even now I still don't know what that formation is. 4-2-1-1-2.
Yeah, it's definitely something that seems to, like you said, it's very, very fluid. And, I mean, I think one thing over Tuesday is we haven't seen either Gregory in every position on the pitch other than left back today. He's sort of been a lot more down that left hand side so far this afternoon.
Yes, I'm just trying to see what Carl Brooks does indeed have. He's got so I'm not sure if it's just a plaster above his lip.
Looks
Didn't
like
see
a
any
plaster,
contact or anything like that in the first half that would have needed it. A little bit of head tennis now. Just see Drake Thomas there just get a bit too firm a thigh on the ball. And Sojo there just being pulled down around the shoulders by Shea Spencer. It will be a free kick just inside the Slough half for the home side. Certainly the only bit of contact that we did see Carl Brooks get, and I don't think we wanted to see a plaster where that ended up. Holnish now just applying some pressure on Underwood, just forcing him to clear long, headed away by Gregory in the left back position, up towards Brooks, just touches back to Spencer, just uses his body well just to buy himself a bit of space to play the ball back to Gregory, in turn to Francis, and then back into the feet of Adegbe. Into Francis, under a little bit of pressure from Widrington, that clears long down the left-hand side in towards the chest of Shakpoke. It's laid off to the feet of Goddard, just under pressure in there from Fonguk, just in front of the away dugout. Has gone out of play for a home throw-in. Just inside their own half. Just over 50 minutes played here at the Beverly. Still that first half penalty in the 39th minute from Toby Show-Silver, enough to separate the two sides. Hampton 1, Slough 0. Akpan just throwing that ball down the line, headed away by Slough, just at the expense of another throw-in for the home side, taking a little bit shorter this time to Widrington. Goes back to Atkinson, flicked high ball forwards, one initially by Show-Silver ahead of Chris Francis. And then a foul there on Arthur Gregory. We'll see Slough earn themselves a free kick and return us back into play. And just going back to the question around the trail earlier, obviously it still doesn't give that sort of physical presence.
Not in the way he looks, obviously, but there was definitely games in pre-season. I recall the away pre-season friendly at Uxbridge where, for me, I thought he was going to be that sort of starting midfielder who would be in the midfield, sort of being the one tracking down players and trying to retrieve the ball back from them. Because for me, he looked like that player in pre-season, but yeah, not sure at the moment as to why he's really featured so far.
And they just having a break through Freddie Taylor, well cut out by a sliding challenge from Fernandez. Throw-in, though, has been eventually recovered by the home side as they did look to play forwards. Hassan now just looking to step away from Taylor, and just there as he steps in front of the recovering Slough defender inside the Hampton half, just clips the ankles of the midfielder.
Yeah, I think he's having a word with the referee as well, because I'm actually in agreement with Sak Hassan amazingly. I'm actually surprised Freddie Taylor's getting away maybe with how at least to talk.
It's amazing the fact the tackle happened right in front of us and we've both seen it differently. I actually thought that Freddie Taylor got a touch on the ball, enough there to progress it away from the run of Hassan.
I thought it was enough for a foul. I think Freddie Taylor was being smart there and knew what he was doing, just trying to stop the run from progressing forward, leading to a potential counter-attack. Slough were a little bit high up there.
The ball forwards just down that left wing again, looking for his hand. Great first touch in there from the winger, but judged there to have been offside by the assistant referee over on that far touchline. It will come back for a Slough Town free kick. I think it's one of the other questions. I'm not sure we'll be able to get any information around the significance of the injury to Josh McNamara.
Yeah, probably too early, unfortunately. But
did look to certainly, based on the treatment that he was receiving, something to do with his left thigh.
We're not used to that, are we? Actually seeing goalkeepers go down with potential knocks and actually
legitimately,
coming off.
Yeah. Brooks just trying to pressure Akpan into error, but it's as the ball was played forward there, Gregory just getting his body in front and earning his side a free kick pretty much on halfway. Slough just move the ball back into the feet of Francis. Looking into Goddard. Fongood now just trying to press forwards, just driving after the ball into Adegbe. Just clears long with his right foot up towards halfway, but not really in the vicinity of either Shakpoke or Holness. Brooks, though, does well just to get a foot in on Mike Atkinson, and now Holness just looking with some space out to the left-hand side to Drake's Thomas. It's a fierce drive, it's over the bar. Narrowly over the bar. It had Underwood scrambling across, but a good high press there from Slough, earning the ball high back up and just allowing that pass into that left-hand channel for Drake's Thomas onto that favoured left foot. Just probably a yard or two over the bar. And Slough, though, despite that good opportunity, still just struggling to find the target, but will take hope from that, being able to win the ball inside the centre circle from Atkinson. At various stages, both de Havilland and Fernandez have both just looked a little bit uncomfortable physically in terms of just taking a moment to recover from particular stretches or tackles. Hampton, though, just in possession on halfway. Soje just up against Johnny Goddard, now just being supported by Brooks, but Soje there just trying to play the ball forwards into the feet of Saziba. I just can't quite get it right, and it's gone out of place. Now throw the ball forwards.
Just going back to the change of goalkeeper, it's still more evidence to suggest that maybe my call of drastic measures to take players off to avoid the minute off the pitch is still in play, I think, for me. Drastic, yes, but that's two instances now we've seen two players who would have had to go off for a minute, but it's been loopholed by a substitution. I don't know if I'll ask Alan Julian that question, but it's definitely more evidence.
Game's gone, Connor. Game's gone. May have had the yelp from Fernandez there as Brooks just caught his foot on top of the defenders, and it has been adjudged as a free kick for the home side. Widrington just on halfway, just taking diagonally across towards Slough's left back area.
They're going to keep
Picked up initially by Atkinson. Hassan now having switched sides over onto that right-hand side, just crosses the ball in towards the back post area. It will come across to Joe Morrison. He'll clear long down the right-hand side into the feet of Drake's Thomas. Good first touch in there from the Slough midfielder, and just earns his side a throw in just in Slough's right back position, which Morrison will take into the feet of Thomas. Was then just dinking one through into Shea Spencer, just outside the centre circle, inside the Slough half. Which just turns and plays it back into the feet of Morrison, just in that right-sided centre-back position. Comes out to right-back Taylor. Taylor forwards into midfield, into Drake's Thomas, back to Taylor. Just back, gets the ball out of his feet into Shea Spencer, just inside the centre circle, progressing into the Hampton half now. His forward pass into Shakpoke, out onto the edge of the area now for Drake's Thomas. Ball has been flicked up high. Hampton just about to get a foot away, but Shea Spencer is there just to pick the ball up again midway through that Hampton half. Moves out to the right to Taylor. Taylor just flicking the ball in towards Holness. Just takes it, turns, just trying to find a bit of space, but he's been well marshalled there by Fernandez. And just allows Hampton just to initially get the ball away from their area. Still just inside their own half. Look, dink ball down the line there.
And your life might have just flashed before your eyes, I'm going to assume.
As I nearly had words with Joe Morrison there for kicking the ball pretty much straight at us. Unfortunately, there are some home supporters just sat down in front of us, just the other side of the wall. Fortunately, just clipped onto the wall on a way, didn't actually hit anyone or anything.
I do have to check my insurance coverage, I think, after the game. Thanks, Joe Morrison.
Sam just driving in towards the area. Gregory, though, does really well just to get his body in the way again and just plays the ball out to Brooks. Brooks with a forward pass into Shakpo, who's done really well just to turn away from the initial challenge. But
Keep working!
Slough, they're just losing out on possession on halfway. It's come out to Sodje, striding forwards into the Slough half just on the left-hand side. Zaziba then just putting one in towards the back end of the box. Show Silver there, just getting his head on the ball, but can only flick it behind and out of play harmlessly, way beyond the frame of a Degbe's goal.
I don't know if you just saw, just prior to that move building up, and Shaplock obviously having that bit of a grappling match. He was clearly not happy with the referee, and I think he had a word with him for a second or two as Brooks links up with Holness, who just drops a bit deeper to pass back into Gregory's feet. I was just going to note a few scorelines. Chesham doubled their lead over Walton Hersham. Truro taking the lead away at Tonbridge. Maidstone United have turned it around against Dorking Wanderers. They actually lead now 2-1. Western 2, Dover 1.
And now with the ball through, Brooks just on the edge there, just trying to shoot through ball into Holness just on that left-hand channel, but it's well cut out by the home defence. Shea Spence, though, just in possession, just in a left-wing position for Slough. So that's to go back to Gregory, and in turn Slough just showing that patient approach again, just moving the ball back to Francis and across to Morrison on halfway. It's a yard or two inside the Hampton half currently. Hampton just happy to sit, let Slough have the ball in that, effectively that middle third. Pretty much just going square side along halfway. Goddard's just dropped into that deeper position at the moment just to receive the ball. Just trying to drive forwards now, just on that right-hand channel. Looking for the feet of Shakpo, just dropped a little bit deeper, just trying to play the ball forwards now into Drakes Thomas, into Goddard, moving the ball out to the right-hand side to Taylor. First time low cross, initially cut out, it's come back out to Taylor, just trying to step away from Sodje, but the defender there will just about shepherd the ball out. He's been kept in play though by Sodje. He just used his body to keep Taylor at arm's length. Hampton still haven't quite got this ball away. Drakes Thomas there, just applying the pressure to Fonga. Can they force themselves a corner? Just over an hour played here at Hampton. Still that first half goal towards the end of the first half from the penalty spot for Toby Show Silver, enough to separate the two sides. Hampton 1, Slough 0. But Slough with a corner from the right-hand side. They'll be looking to try and get themselves back on level terms here. It's delivered in by the left foot of Drakes Thomas. Deep towards the back post, but too deep. Joe Morrison. Sorry, Chris Francis rather, just bundled over just in amongst a throng of other players. Appeals probably more so from the players as to a little bit too aggressive with the manhandling there. But nothing given by the referee, so we remain Hampton 1, Slough Town 0. Long kick from the goal kick from Underwood. It's picked up by Shea Spencer and just rolls the ball back to the feet of Michael Adegbe. Adegbe just playing it forwards into the feet of Spencer, just allowed to turn just midway through that Slough half, just looking for some options again. Has to put his foot on the ball and just slow things down with Fonguk stood in front of him, just blocking out passing lanes. Francis looking for a longer ball forwards, just down that left-hand channel. Holness just trying to run beyond, but the timing of the pass and the run of the substitute Holness there is just not quite aligned, and the assistant referee's flag has gone up, and it's going to be a free kick for offside for Hampton, just about 20 yards out, just outside of their own penalty area, just on the right-hand side, towards the right-hand corner. And they're just playing that ball long down the middle of the pitch. It's broken to Theo Widrington in the middle. It's broken through kindly for the midfielder. And as you'll hear from the cheers around us, just that long direct ball forwards. Widrington just finding the space on the edge of the area. It took a touch to get himself the shooting position. And he's fired into the net past the Degbe. It's doubled the home side's lead. Hampton and Richmond 2, Slough Town 0. Again, from all the good defensive work that had gone on through the first half and in the opening 15 minutes or so of this second half, just undone there by just a simple long ball forwards. A little bit of fortune in falling for Widrington. But a simple 1-2 Well, a disappointing one from a Slough perspective, Connor.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I only caught the last tail end of it where Widrington had managed to just touch it around the defender in front of him. And I think at that point, you know, a clean strike is most likely hitting the back of the net with all the space he had in front of him. And if what you're saying is true, which obviously I believe you, and it's just the long ball that's sort of dropped into that box and been the main cause of all the issues, then sounds to me like it's another disappointing goal to concede. And again, it makes it even more difficult to see where a positive result comes today now.
Obviously, Slough will take hope from their last away game, having come from 3 goals behind in the first half. Will give them a degree of comfort, but just over 26 minutes of normal time left to play here at the Beverley. Hampton currently progressing just down the right-hand side with a series of throw-ins.
Comment from Dwight Rebel, he says, I know it's still very early, but right now I'm wondering where we are going to get points from. And,
generally, Twyford Rebel get 1 for a draw and 3 for a win. So that's generally where they come from. I'm not aware of any other ways of getting points. I do apologise. I do apologise.
I'm not going to add to that.
That's the top quality level of information you get here on Rebels Radio. Slough, though, are looking to get themselves back into the game on the attack at the moment with Drake Thomas. Just trying to play the ball through, and it was, I think, initially intended for Shaq Poke. Brooks there just trying to get on the end of the ball that wasn't intended for him, and has just bundled over Will de Havilland as the defender was just trying to shepherd the ball out of play. We'll just give the Beavers captain the opportunity just to take a couple of seconds out of the game, slow things down. Not really Slough are building up too much momentum.
No further goals in the National League South. Just having a quick look very briefly, but nothing else to what we added to just before obviously the second goal went in for Hampton and Richmond.
So you're putting yourself in the dugout at the moment, Connor, much more tactically astute than I am. What would you be looking to try and change to try and shift the momentum, if nothing else, and try and get Slough back into the game?
It's a really difficult one, I think, at this point, being 2 down. I feel like there was a chance, perhaps, before the second went in, of just, you know, looking to get more attacking players into the game. You've got Oppong there on the bench. Lewis Walsh is still there as well. I even think, as we've been talking about him for you, is potentially a good addition to have, just to add more skill to that midfield. Maybe free up a few further midfielders to push a bit more forward, to add to the front options. But it's hard to see at the minute where Slough sort of gain anything from this point, because it looks like Hampton are going from strength to strength right now, as 3 goals on the pitch may not have covered that effort from Widrington there.
There's a floated cross across to the back post area, so Slough's left back position, it had broken out towards the edge of the area, and Widrington's eyes lit up as the ball had bounced in front of him. And it's one that you picture in your mind, you're just going to hit straight into the top corner. It's going to be a postage stamp.
I don't think anyone will disagree with him striking the ball there, because I think we'd all attempt an effort from that range.
Even with your bad leg?
Definitely. One strike at goal for 6 months of pain might be worth it.
Might be worth it. That 1 in a million. Fortunately, from a Slough perspective, as Connor had indicated, very, very much off target. Now just looking to break, with Brooks just turning up over on this right-hand touchline. It's a forward ball there that I'm not sure I saw any contact between Brooks and Fernandez, just as the defender had got to the ball ahead of the Slough midfielder. Still just querying it with the referee as to what he'd seen.
It's just game smart, isn't it? Like, I think you're right. I don't think Carbert's even actually touched him at all. But the fact that the player recognises that a Slough player's left an outstretched leg, the opportunity to get his side out of trouble is there, and it presents itself to him. He's going to take it at every chance. So it does look like we are going to see some Slough reinforcements from the bench very shortly, although if Sak Hassan has it his way, which he is going to beat Arthur Gregory, almost delivering an excellent ball in the 6-yard box across to that man again, Widdrington, lurking at the back post. Could have been even worse before those changes could have got on the pitch.
It was flashed right the way across the face of goal, past the outstretched arms of Adegbe and out of play for a throw-in for Slough. It's in their right back position, taken down the line, flicked on by Drake Thomas, and then the attempted clearance in there from Fernandez, blocked by the charging Holness. Will be a throw-in for the home side just inside their own half. And it will now be that double change for the Rebels with Shaq Poke the first to be replaced. He'll be replaced by Godlovapong. The second change we'll see Latrell Ewers just replacing Jaden Drake Thomas. A little bit of confusion there from the Slough midfielder. Didn't see his number that had gone up. Hampton returners to play with a throw-in just from their left-hand side. Ball up towards Apong. Just takes it down on his chest, just trying to step away from the Hampton press, but foot in. But Slough retained possession. Now it's gone back to Adegbe. Just under pressure from Show Silver. Just a calm pass out though from Adegbe, just round the press into the feet of Chris Francis. Just able now to stride up towards halfway. Gives the ball out to Gregory on the left-hand side. He's looking to play into the feet of Johnny Goddard. Goddard now just looking for a return pass up against the press of Akpan, and it's just taking a touch off the feet of Goddard there, out over the side of the pitch and out play for a throw-in for the home side. It's deep inside their own half though, in the right back position.
A couple more comments I can bring you. Rebel Skelly says Folkestone next Saturday is winnable in his opinion. Hopefully some sort of early season offer can be implemented to get a good crowd at Arbor Park. There is one I can tell you about, funny enough, but we'll leave that to the end of the game. Pause briefly. And Atkinson is down again. Kieran McCrory says, so far we've lost two promoted teams and losing to rock bottom Hampton. Coupled with a poor pre-season, how long do we give AJ is his question there. Jennifer says, bring on Lewis Walsh. He's my grandson and I live in Wrexham.
International audience again now. It's a pleasure to have everyone here on Rebels Radio. Do keep those comments coming in through the Mixler chat. It may well be that Slough may well need the introduction of Lewis Walsh at some point. 2 goals behind here, 18 minutes of normal time left to play. And Slough will need to find something to try and get themselves back into this game if they're to get their first points on the board of any form this season.
Yeah, just that one last remaining substitution available to Slough after obviously Michael Adegbe had to come on for the injured Josh McNamara after the penalty kick in the first half. I'm sure that probably wouldn't have been planned for, obviously.
Chase Spence now just with a longer diagonal ball out to the feet of Freddie Taylor, just in that Hampton half. Looking to bend one in with his left foot towards the back post area. It's contested by Goddard. Seconds picked up by Humphrey Ewers, but back in the possession of Hampton at the moment. Hassan just trying to run forwards, but well stopped by Shea Spence now just trying to drive forward himself, but Hassan there covers well and just wins the ball back himself with a sliding challenge. Plays the ball forwards though, but not into the vicinity of Toby Showsilver, and Gregory's just able to pick the ball up and move it back up to halfway. Just inside the Hampton half, just has to turn away from pressure and plays the ball into the feet of Carl Brooks. Square to Joe Morrison, just inside the Hampton half, forward ball towards Luke Holness is cut out, and with Morrison now just having to recover just down that left-hand channel. Showsilver there just receiving the ball 20 yards out from the byline. Fongruk just with a small through ball there into the feet of Saziba. Has just about scrambled away as the low shot across the face of goal into that far corner from left to right. Somehow stayed out. And Slough escaped from conceding a third. Just over 14 minutes of normal play left, still Hampton 2, Slough 0. Taylor just forwards into the feet of Brooks, just had to go back to Morrison. Morrison square to Chris Francis. Just takes the first touch forwards and plays the ball out towards Goddard, but it's cut out first and foremost by Akpan, but only at the expense of a Slough throw-in. Taken back to Chris Francis. Slough just playing the ball about, just short passing in between Francis, Gregory, Spencer, without any sort of real forward options available for them. Now opportunity for Goddard just to get on the ball, just takes a step inside, plays a diagonal ball forwards, but it's headed away comfortably by Fernandez. Hampton just in possession, just outside their own area at the moment, and they're just moving the ball out to right back Ekpan, forwards to Widrington, and out to the feet of Hassan, back to Widrington. Back into right back Akpan with a longer ball forwards this time, looking towards Showsill, but Chris Francis there to head away first. Shea Spencer picks up that ball just inside the Slough half, exchanges passes with Goddard now on halfway. Forward pass into Holness, just waiting for the run of Brooks just on that left-hand channel, just inside the Hampton area. It's a ball across. It is a goal for the Rebels. Kyle Brooks there just finding the corner of the net. Third man run pays dividends for the Rebels. Kyle Brooks receiving the ball just inside the Hampton area, just took a slight little instep, bends it into the far corner with the right foot. Can Slough get back on level terms? Hampton 2, Slough Town 1. And that goal coming on 76. Gives Slough the opportunity to try and get themselves back on level terms, as there is a substitution for the home side with Zach Hassan being replaced by Maxwell Mullins. And the kickoff, long high ball headed away though by Joe Morrison. Holness there just contesting that with Atkinson, just forcing the Hampton midfielder there into an issue before then Brooks is brought down by Atkinson. Slough trying to take the free kick quickly, but not to the satisfaction of the referee. It will have to be retaken just a couple of yards inside the Slough half. Taken short into the feet of Shea Spencer. Spencer now just looking for options. Has to go square and short to Brooks, just back into Spencer. A couple of yards inside the Hampton half. It's just seeing Gregory in a little bit more of a central position, just coming forward to try and receive that ball. Just tries to play one out towards the run of Goddard, but it's blocked at source. Slough though do recover possession just inside their own half. Latrell Ewers playing forwards to Goddard. Goddard just trying to find the run of Holness. It's just a little bit scrappy, but Widrington has managed to find substitute Mullins just over on that left-hand side. It's a ball across, it's dealt with though in the middle by Joe Morrison, and Latrell Ewers there just able to bring the ball down on his chest, supported by Shea Spencer, just using his body to turn away from Showsilver. Just a little bit too assertive there from the Hampton striker, and it was a free kick taken quickly by the Rebels. Gregory just on that left-hand side now, looking down that channel towards the opponent. It's just hammered away by de Havilland up towards halfway. Broken nicely towards Widrington. It's a Scott Davis-esque attempt from the Hampton goal scorer, but very much off target from distance, trying to catch a Digby off his line. Out for a goal kick that Digby takes quickly into Morrison. Morrison to Spencer. Play vertically at the moment through the middle of the pitch. It's worked out now to Francis. Forward pass out to Goddard, just on the left-hand side, just over halfway. Let's go back to Spencer, just inside the Slough half, edge of the centre circle. It's back in at the moment, just little exchanges of passes, just trying to move the ball side to side, back and forwards at the moment. Brooks, though, with a little bit of space, just midway inside that Hampton half, just looking for some options in front of him, finds the feet of Apong. Back to Goddard. It's a drive from the edge of the box. It is blocked, but Slough recover possession midway inside that Hampton half. And Brooks there just flicking the ball through into the run of Apong, just on the edge of the area. He's come through into the middle. Holness there with the equaliser for the Rebels. It's broken kindly to Slough's number 11 in the middle of the 6-yard box. Apong's initial effort blocked, fell kindly in turn to Slough Town's number 11, the 3rd goal of the season for Holness, and it brings the Rebels level here at the Bev. Slough Town back on level terms. Hampton 2, Slough Town 2. You have to learn to type faster.
It means we score another one. Not like at all.
And it has prompted a reaction from the home side with Theo Widrington coming off, being replaced alongside Toby Show Silva, also being replaced by Reese Grego Cox. I did see Widrington go off as well, but I haven't seen who's come on to replace him as yet. Just over 10 minutes of normal time left here. And it was Theo Widrington replaced by Kiban Rai. So 10 minutes of normal time left here at the Beverly. Slough having pulled themselves from 2 goals behind. I'm trying to let Connor finish off his typing before I do ask him some questions, because I know if he's anything like me, he's terrible at multitasking. Ball currently in possession, though, of Fernandez, just a couple of yards outside of his own area. Has to go back to Underwood, just moves the ball out to the right-hand side of the pitch into Will de Havilland. Longer ball forwards there from the Hampton captain. Just down that right-hand side of the pitch. And there's Riley, it's just doing battle with Gregory at the moment. Gregory, though, just comes out victorious in that little battle, supported by Goddard. Just about keeping the ball in play, and Slough just moves the ball nicely into the feet of Shea Spencer. Ball forwards there, just not into the area of opponent. It just allows Hampton just to turn over possession just inside their own half. Fernandez just taking a foot to stop on the ball. Just looking for a bit of concerted effort from Slough as to who's going to press the ball, but Fernandez just allowed to play the ball back into Underwood. Goes out to de Havilland. A forward pass there, well cut out by Goddard. Atkinson just picking up the seconds inside the centre circle, headed forwards, but over the heads there of a couple of players, and Latrell Hughes just trying to break forwards. It's bounced back towards halfway where Spence picks up the ball just on the left-hand side now, just trying to drive forwards towards the edge of the Hampton area. Just goes past the initial challenge. And it's a penalty for Slough. Spencer's forward run right on the edge of the area. Saw a tackle come in from, I think it was Will de Havilland. And it must have been just inside the area, and it's been a penalty awarded for the away side. Spencer just collecting the ball, just sort of in the left-back position, just inside the Hampton half, just drove inside, just down that left-hand channel of the pitch. Not really any contest from the Hampton players as he moved the ball forwards, and as that tackle came in, it must have been just pretty much around the edge of the 18-yard box, but from a Slough perspective, just inside the area. And it will give Slough the opportunity to complete a turnaround here as Johnny Goddard puts the ball down on the spot. Again, just waiting for the whistle, which duly arrives. Goddard now just taking a slow run up, fires the ball, pretty similar to the earlier goal from Toby Show Silva. Slough have turned things around here. Goddard's goal puts the Rebels in front for the first time this afternoon. Hampton 2, Slough Town 3.
No,
you're not allowed to talk. You carry on with typing.
I can. That's fine. I'll do that.
It seemed to be working for us, Connor.
It did, and it does, and I'm just stunned. This is very, very similar in the way that Dover sort of just hit me like a sack of bricks. It's unbelievable. I did not expect this turnaround, and I think the one thing I will say, the lead up to Slough's first goal, you could sense a little bit of hesitancy in the Hampton side. Obviously, they haven't led a game so far this season, but you could just sense there was something there. And then once the first one goes in, you can tell it sort of breeded more hesitation and a bit worry in them. And clearly, Slough have been able to capitalise on that.
And that goal for Goddard coming in the 83rd minute. Slough though on the attack again with Godlove upon now, just driving towards the edge of the area, just trying to go round to Haviland, but it's a good challenge in there from the former Maidenhead man. Slough win the ball back on the edge of the area, but unfairly so according to the referee, just as Holness was about to pull the trigger from the middle of the D, and it's a free kick that's going to be awarded for the home side pretty much on 18 yards. Underwood just taking the kick short. And it's just come back across to Fernandez, just on that left centre-back position. Now Sodje just with the ball at feet. Midway through that Hampton half, no forward options there suitable for the fullback, so it's been moved across into the right back areas for the home side. Back in with the feet of de Havilland. Chips a little ball into Greco Cox just inside the Hampton half, just a little bit too eager there, Chris Francis, and it's a free kick just inside that Hampton half, taken short. Fernandez into Sodje, just inside the Slough half now, just on that left-hand channel. Comes out to Saziba, just up against Freddie Taylor. Fongut back to Atkinson. Just looking for the return run of Saziba, just steps across into the edge of the D, just trying to find an area to shoot. Finds the equaliser for the home side. It is a quick response in there, just given too much space on the edge of the area. Just moved across from the left-hand edge of the D to the centre and then fired a low drive into the bottom corner. Saziba there just restoring parity to the scoreline. Hampton 3, Slough 3.
I think I jinxed it by saying it felt similar to Dover, and it's exactly what's happened.
Come on, Slough!
So if nothing else, it's entertaining watching Slough away. 8 goals in the first game in the 5-3 defeat to Dover. 6 goals so far this afternoon here at Hampton. Is now another substitution for the home side. Just waiting to see what the actual swab was. Just waiting for it to pop up on the scoreboard off to our left-hand side. Saziba now just playing the ball into Fongut. Just in the early stages of the Slough half. The Trolley is just trying to snitch the ball off of the feet of Atkinson, but it's moved out to the right-hand side to Mullins. Hampton then just on the attack again, just on that right-hand side, but it's a good foot in there from Gregory. Oh. It's a bit of a late challenge in there from Kibben Rye. But it must, as Connor says there, he must have won the ball cleanly. No reaction from Gregory at all. It's one of those ones that's sort of in between two players. They're both running at it, full pelt. Rye just sort of slid in, but obviously got the ball, I think, probably with his shins. No contact on the Slough player at all. Bit of head tennis between the two sides now, just inside that Slough half. The ball's gone out of play though for a throw-in. And there's the confirmation there of the substitution. Actually, Akpan being replaced by Jasper Mather. He's clearly a fan favourite here at the Beverley. Ball had gone out of play there just for a goal kick for Slough. Joe Morrison just receiving the ball just outside of his area, just trying to play long towards combination of Apong and Holness. Apong does really well just to win that initial ball back, and between the pair of them, they've nicked the ball off of Fernandez. The ball across towards the edge of the area to Goddard. His shot on the turn is well blocked by Mullins. Hampton do get the ball up towards Greco Cox on halfway, but it's a heavy touch there from the forward, and it allows Slough just to recover possession. He's moving the ball across the centre circle at the moment, just inside that Hampton half. Morrison just looking for options, finds one in Holness. Bundled over by two players, nothing given by the referee. And just as then Hampton played the ball forwards into the feet of Greco Cox in a bit of space on halfway, Holness down with a head injury, and the referee has pulled the game back just to ensure then that Holness, who was the meat in the sandwich there between, I think it was Mike Atkinson and Sodje, is just okay as he's just down holding the back of his head at the moment, just receiving treatment from the Slough medical team. But while we do have a moment to breathe, I will take you through those other scores in and around the Enterprise National League South this afternoon as things stand. It's Braintree 1, Horsham 2, Chesham 2, Walton 0, Dagenham and Redbridge 2, 10-man Torquay 0, Dorking 2, Maidstone 3, Farnham 2, Billericay 3, Folkestone 1, Chelmsford 1. It's obviously 3-3 here between Hampton and Slough. Maidenhead 1, Farnborough 1, Salisbury 1, Hemel 1, Tonbridge 0, Truro 2, and Weston-super-Mare 2, Dover 2. So just over a minute of normal time left here at the end of what's been a pulsating second half. 5 of the 6 goals having come in this half alone. Toby Show-Silver just opening the scoring after 40 minutes before a second from Theo Widrington, before a remarkable turnaround from Slough, getting themselves in front. That third goal coming courtesy of Johnny Goddard on the penalty spot. There'll be a drop ball just on halfway, just dropped at the feet of Fernandez. Clips the ball down that left-hand channel, headed away though by Freddie Taylor. And there will now be a final substitution for that away side, with Shea Spencer being replaced by Keenan Kwanzaa. Would you say, Connor, this is potentially lessons learned from Dover? Just trying to see out, hopefully, the last few minutes here for Slough and just hold on to that point.
You can only say it works if Slough do obviously end up getting a result. So
Kwanzaa just coming on straight into the middle of that 6-yard box. It will be a long throw from Hampton just on their left-hand side. A couple of yards in from that corner flag, delivered in towards that near post area. It's bounced across towards the edge of the area. It's picked up more than away by Slough. And a second attempt there, it does get it away. Goddard just trying to chase it down, just put some pressure on Mullins. Mullins just trying to fire the ball back towards the edge of the area. It's dealt with initially by Kwanzaa, but only as far as Sodje. Just skips past the first challenge, midway inside that Slough half. Out to Fonguk now, an advanced position on the left-hand side, delivered in by Greco Cox. Flicked on towards the back post area. It's a great save initially from Edegbe. There's a bit of a goalmouth scramble in there. It has been forced in by the home side. They've returned to the lead after what was a good initial save from Edegbe, but the ball has ended up in the back of the net. I've got no idea who that final touch has come from. It's been awarded to Luis Fernandez on the scoreboard off to our left-hand side. And again, Slough, having got themselves level, now find themselves behind in injury time here at the Beverly. Just as Connor says there, that substitution only works there if you do see that game out. It was the right idea to just try and consolidate there, with Hampton just looking like they were just about to get back on top. But home side back in front, Connor.
yeah, again, I'll be honest, I didn't see a lot of it. I only saw sort of the tail end of the goal. But from what I did see, really good stuff, to be honest. Yeah, so I think since
just about sums up Slough's afternoon there, as Goddard tries to take a quick pass out to Holness just on this near touch line, and the ball just bounces underneath the striker's foot and out of play for a Hampton throw-in.
I think if you try and separate at the moment the fact that this is only the second game away from home we've played this season, and that's already our 9th goal conceded. It's not positive. I think that's probably it, really.
2.5 minutes into added on time here at the end of the second half. Slough trying to get themselves back on level terms for the second time in the game. Hampton 4, Slough 3. Goddard just on the attack at the moment, spotted by Gregory just over on that left-hand side. Pings the ball in towards the back post. Not really anyone of a Slough persuasion near that, and it's been headed behind by Soji just as a precaution.
Did you happen to see how much injury time there was? Sorry,
there's nothing on the scoreboard either to indicate. So unfortunately, we're in a little bit of unknown territory now.
We could be playing forever.
Will be Arthur Gregory that's come across onto Slough's right-hand side to deliver this corner into the area, delivered in towards the back post. It's met by a Slough head, but it's bounced down into the turf, comfortably into the hands of Marco Underwood. He's looking to release Mullins now on the counter-attack. He's delivered the ball across towards the middle into Saziba through the centre, but it's a little bit too early and it's offside there. It won't be a fifth for the home side. And it will be a yellow card there for Saziba for continuing the run after the whistle, putting the ball into the net. I think if you kick it in, that's pretty much like an automatic yellow, like taking your shirt off.
I'm not on their side. I'm just going to say that, but that felt a little bit harsh to me.
It certainly wasn't long after the whistle had gone. It certainly was a delay of restart. And we're currently just pausing to return to players. There is a Hampton player down just beyond the centre circle at the moment. I think it's Mike Atkinson that's just receiving some treatment. Into the 5th minute of added time. And, regardless of the final score today, 15 goals in 2 away games already for Slough. It's somewhat value for money for the neutrals. Atkinson still down at the moment, just receiving treatment, just about to return up to his feet at the moment. We'll obviously have to leave the pitch for a minute, and it will hopefully give Slough an opportunity to deliver this ball long into the box while Hampton find themselves a player short for what you would think would be the last minute. I'm not entirely sure how much injury time there is added on. We're now ticking up onto 95 minutes played on the board. The freeze whistle goes and allows the Degby to fire the ball just long down that left-hand channel. Initial header is won by Slough, but Fernandez is there just to hook that ball away. Back up towards centre circle, headed back towards the Hampton goal by Latrell Ewers, not once but twice. As Brooks is then just barged in the back by Greco Cox inside the centre circle. It will give Slough another opportunity to deliver this ball forwards. Now up to 95.5 minutes gone here at the Beverley. Hampton 4, Slough Town 3. There will be Latrell Ewers here, just inside the Hampton half. Gives the ball just out towards that left-hand channel. It's a long run across, and it's a great piece of defending in there from Fernandez just to get his foot in, just as the ball had been headed back across goal. Not only is he scoring goals down the other end, he's also putting in some fantastic defensive work in his own third, but it has gone out of play for a Slough corner. Will be delivered in. Degbe has gone up, punched away initially by Underwood, but Holness will pick this up and deliver it back out to Goddard. Just takes a touch, goes back in towards the area, and it's bounced across. It's taken a touch off a Hampton player. It will be another Slough corner. 97 minutes now. It will be Goddard again. Degbe has stayed up for this corner. He's just sort of standing next to his opposite number, delivered in towards the middle of the area. It's fumbled by Underwood, but it's gone across out to the edge of the area, and it's allowed Hampton to break now. The touch has gone past the last man, Latrell Ewers. Wes Fonguk is running through in towards an empty net. This will be the 5th for Hampton, despite the best efforts of Luke Holness. He rolls the ball into the empty net. That is the 5th for Hampton. Similarities with the Dover game. Again, Hampton 5, Slough Town 3. Just had beaten Latrell Ewers as the last man to the ball as it come out into that left-hand channel. Just got his toes onto it just to be able to touch it past the Slough midfielder, and then all of Slough were pushed up in towards the area to try and get that equalising goal. Got caught on the counter-attack. Similarities there with the 5th goal for Dover, just with Slough just trying to get themselves back on level terms, almost over-committing. And again, from a winning position towards the end of the second half, Slough have now conceded 3 goals and find themselves 5-3 down for their second consecutive away game. It's Goddard that gets us back underway with Chris Francis. It's moving the ball across to Quanta to Morrison. So just persisting just with the short passing options now, I think. We roll over into the 99th minute here at the Beverly. I think there'll be too many opportunities now for Slough just to sling the ball forwards. I think the game pretty much is done as a forward ball towards Apong. It's dealt with at the second time of asking by de Havilland. Goddard now just trying to break forward just down that left-hand side. Does break in towards Freddie Taylor. Ball had bounced up, and as the young Loney had tried to strike it with his left foot, just running into the flight of the ball. Just gets high and underneath, and it goes high over the goal beyond the stand and the building off to the right-hand side. And out of play for a goal kick. There's Underwood there now, just returned the ball into play from the goal kick. And by the head of Taylor, flicked forward by Siziba. One though by Morrison as the ball's up in the air. Mike Atkinson though, just flicking the ball forward into Siziba, just in that left-hand channel, just taking the sensible option just to move the ball back out towards the corner flag. Let's hold on to it now as we are now into the 100th minute. And the ball just being contested in the corner flag. It has gone out of play for a Slough throw-in, just deep inside the right-back position. Just taking short to Morrison. Morrison just allowed to take a couple of steps forward, just looking for some forward options. Has to go square to Quanta. Quanta now just driving forwards up towards halfway. He continues his run over the halfway line before moving the ball out to the left-hand side to Francis. Francis into Goddard. Has to move the ball back across now, and it's moved to Latrell Hughes, just inside the centre circle, just inside the Hampton half. And now we're moving the ball across the pitch from left to right. That does bring us to a close 1 second before the 100th minute shows up on the scoreboard. I'm presuming that it could go to 100 minutes and it wasn't just stuck on 99.59 for a period of time. But it is another away defeat for the Rebels this afternoon here at the Beverly. Same scoreline as what they encountered in the first away game of the season, and it's now 3 defeats in a row for Alan Julian's Rebels. Guilty of chasing the game there at the end, which led to that breakaway 5th. But from a commanding position, Connor, being 3-2 up in the last 10 minutes, have Slough thrown that game away?
Yes. Yeah, there's nothing other than to say yes. I mean, when you come back from 2-0 down and you get it into a position where you lead, you do everything you can to then try and disrupt the rest of the game because you've got what you need. And we did not see that from Slough. If anything, what we did was encourage them. And they got the benefit of that encouragement with 3 really late goals. The last one, I'll be fair, in that situation at the last minute, you're always going to do that. You're going to try and push the goalkeeper up to even be on the end, hopefully, of a cross into the box to maybe get an unlikely equaliser. But up until 4-3, the response, having led, was poor. And again, I don't think there's any sort of... You're not able to really cover 10 goals conceded in 2 away games now, and it'll be a very interesting post-match interview with Alan Julian after today, because quite clearly there were things out there this afternoon I don't think they would have liked. But again, there are positives. The fact, again, we've seen the side come back from a deficit to get back into a position of positivity is good. But again, it's that inability to get that over the line, having done all that hard work to do so, and then in the end all that effort comes to nothing when ultimately you concede late goals and lose the game. So not great, it has to be said. I think we're all well aware of who most people have predicted to be in and around that relegation area, us along with Hampton and Richmond, of course. But yeah, ultimately we're going to need a quick response and fast. It's 3 defeats from 3, and it's not going to get any easier as we move into next weekend, where we'll play Folkestone and Victor at the other of the newly promoted sides into the league, who we know are very well invested, have a very competitive squad, and hopefully it'll be a game that the side will be up for, and we'll finally look to sort of overturn this poor start. And again, I remember back to the start of last season where we were sort of in a similar situation, and ironically it was Ebbsfleet United who came to Arbour Park, everyone predicting, I think it was top versus bottom even then as well actually, and everyone was very much predicting we would comfortably lose that day, for us to turn around and win 2-0. So who knows what will happen. Still very early days, but not the best of starts so far.
Yeah, we'll take the opportunity to take you through some of those National League South scores around the grounds this afternoon. Try and get back on the right screen. Full-time scores obviously everywhere across the National League South now. Braintree 1, Horsham 2, Chesham 2, Walton and Hersham 0, Dagenham 2, 10-man Torquay 0, Dorking 2, Maidstone 3, Farnham 2, Billericay 4, Folkestone 1, Chelmsford 1, Maidenhead 1, Farnborough 1, Salisbury 1, Hemel Hempstead 2, Tonbridge 0, Truro 2, and Weston-super-Mare 2, Dover 3. So from a Slough perspective, unfortunately looking at the bottom end of the table, and from the bottom up after these early stages of the season, bottom of the table, Walton and Hersham 24th, played 4, scored 1, conceded 12, no points. 23rd is Slough, played 3, scored 6, conceded 11, 0 points. Ebbsfleet in 22nd, obviously yet to play a game, with obviously the restrictions that the league have placed on them while they satisfy some financial criteria, so no games played, no points. 21st is today's hosts Hampton, played 4, -8 on the goal difference and 3 points. Just outside the relegation spots, Braintree in 20th, having also played 3, -4 on the goal difference and 3 points. Top end of the table, just that one team continuing their excellent start with a 100% record in Dagenham and Redbridge, played 4, 12 points, scored 7, conceded 1. Yeah, the playoff positions, again in this very, very early stage. Horsham played 4 in second, 8 points. Weston-super-Mare on third, played 4, 7. Truro in fourth, played 3, 7 points. Maidstone in fifth, played 4 and 7. Hemel in sixth, played 4 and 7. And Farnborough in seventh, played 4 and 7. We'll be back with you next Saturday. No midweek game this week, but for those who haven't got anything better to do on a Saturday morning, there is a charity match that will be taking place at Arbour Park. Slough Town supporters will be taking on a team of YouTube content creators. So we do have a fantastic relationship with one of those content creators, Y Callum. Y Callum has been doing a number of things with the club over a number of years, including a charity match that took place last year. Fantastic opportunity to raise some funds. The game will be streamed. Will be taking place ahead of the 3 o'clock kickoff with Folkestone. I think we're on an 11 o'clock kickoff for the charity match. Anyone that can come along can come down and support Mind, I believe it is this year.
It's it's Alzheimer's Society this year. We're raising much needed funds for, and if anything else as well, just to try and incentivize people who want to come along to the game. We might not be that interested, but want to see Slough afterwards. It is £10 entry to get in, and the incentive being that if you do pay that £10, it all goes towards the charity that's been chosen, and also you will get free entry into Slough Town versus Folkestone and Victor next Saturday as well. So 2 games for the price of £10. I can't guarantee one will be very good, but hopefully the other will be. I'll let you decide which way that works for you, but yeah, it's a great charity. I'm really, really happy we can do this again, and hopefully 1 or 2 of you that are still here with us at this very late stage would be interested in coming along and supporting a great charity, and some very, very familiar names if you're familiar with some of the Slough supporters who will be facing the content creators team.
Yeah, so until next Saturday, and we'll pull things to a close here this afternoon from the Beverley. It's been another goal fest, unfortunately not in Slough's favour this afternoon, as they've gone down 5-3 for the second away game running. This time, though, to Hampton and Richmond, getting their first points on the board. Slough still waiting for that elusive first victory or even first point this season of this 26-27 Enterprise National League South season under new management of Alan Julian. And you would hope that those points will be coming as we return home next week at Arbour Park hosting Folkestone. As usual, we'll be looking to bring you live commentary, live updates through the social channels throughout the course of the afternoon. We should be back on air shortly before kickoff next Saturday. So until then, enjoy what I hope is glorious blue skies and sunshine where you are listening from. We'll let you enjoy the rest of your weekend and be back with you next